So I have been messing around with SimAirport quite frequently over the past few months that I have been away from actually playing any sort of video games on the YouTube channel, from be it on stream or inside of video. Now, even though with that said, SimAirport is only one of the few games that I have been playing. It is one. Another one I've been playing is Academia. Another is the Halo Master Chief Collection. I just recently got that, actually, just at the start of the new year. And there is something about SimAirport that draws me to it a little bit more than the others. And I'll get into it a little bit more throughout the course of this video. But I think to put it in layman's terms is how dynamic the game is. There is a certain dynamic function within the game that makes it different from other games of the same genre. Now, obviously, for those who are familiar with some past playthroughs that I've done on other games, is that I've done 3 series on Airport CEO. I don't intend on going back to that anytime soon, but I do have an idea for that as far as a series that I want to do after SimAirport, and I do have some good ideas for SimAirport as well. Now, what ideas these are, well, I'll leave that for you to interpret, but I think to put it in best wording, I could say, is to go ahead and play SimAirport in one of the newer ways that you can play the game. This being via the Scenarios tab. For those who don't know, if you go and press New Game here, you'll then go and have these 3 different options: Career Mode, Sandbox Mode, or Scenario Mode. Sandbox Mode is essentially you can build whatever you want with no money in scale or in mind. So that's perfectly fine. Career Mode is completely the opposite. You are set with your initial funds. You can't go ahead and build more than what you already have. It does bring a challenge, though. I was able to play through a full career mode series 3 times and not have a single failure. Granted, there was a couple times where I did go into the negative, but that's besides the point. What it truly matters is if you can play career mode and sandbox mode, you can play scenario mode. Scenario mode has it a little bit differently, though. You can have it be where you create your own scenarios based off of certain games that you've played before, or you can go ahead and download it from the workshop. That is exactly what we're going to do here today, because I have one scenario that I am going to be playing with you guys throughout the course of this series. That scenario, if I go into my subscribed items here, you can see that I have 2 different ones. The first one being Green Peaks International, and the second one is Not Long Left. Not Long Left is kind of like a dumbed down version of what the initial game is, or what the initial like tutorial level of the airport is. I don't want to play this. It's just going to seem a little bit repetitive on my part, mostly because it's not bringing anything new. It's just like fixing up the airport, and then you go and play it as you normally would. Green Peaks, though, you can kind of see it already, but Green Peaks kind of brings in the element of multi-level system. So, like, for instance, the Arrivals is, of course, on the main level that you are seeing right now. However, the Departures is, I believe, oh no, the Arrivals actually is, let me go ahead and zoom into the picture here. So this is the drop off. So this is like the departures lounge, where ticketing will be. And then eventually, I believe security is up on the 2nd level. With that in mind, we then get into the idea that this airport immediately starts you off with a multi-level building. You have different structures below ground, and you have different things above ground. You can go ahead and just build your own like ticketing stand or anything else. I think that there is going to be an impressive challenge with this, though, and that's exactly what we're going to do here today. So let's go ahead and start playing on Green Peaks. So a little bit of a caveat here. For those who don't know how the scenarios work, is that there will be a series of objectives when you first load up the game. The first set of objectives is based off of how many total planes you can have. Serve a total of 100 planes. That's a fairly easy objective. That's the total number of planes that you service throughout the course of playing on this map. That is based off of it's not based off of a day specifically, and it's not based off of anything else. It's just like total number of planes that you have served. Perfect. Have 80% overall passenger satisfaction. That's the difficult one. It's very easy to go ahead and get like 70%, but getting it up to 80% and hold it for 4 hours, that's even more of a challenge. So that will be a good challenge right there. However, these tasks are going to be what's going to hit us hard if we don't complete them correctly. Do not have passenger satisfaction below 45% for over 3 hours. So if we keep that passenger satisfaction, which we have right here, it's going to tell us everything that we have in terms of what's benefiting us and what is not benefiting us. That's going to tell us what our passenger satisfaction is. And this is going to change over time, as it is with any sort of playthrough. If that drops below 45% over the course of 3 hours or more, then we failed the scenario. No ifs, ands, or buts. Second one is complete all objectives before day 15. So I believe this is basically saying, like, if we go ahead and complete all 3 of these objectives before day 15. Right now it says day 5, according to our system scale. So we have a total of 10 in-game days to play this. I think that's enough time. However, our money situation is what's going to hinder us the most. We have 150,000 pounds to worry about, or dollars, credits, pounds, however you want to describe it. I'm going to keep the scenario tab right up here, just so that way it makes it easier for us to go ahead and locate it in the future. Now, Green Peaks International. You start off with one single gate. It says that it's gate A2. I'm not going to even worry about the naming. And here's where the multi-level side of the games comes into play. So you can see we have the foreman's office already. I think that's because we already have construction and escalators already researched. So that is something that is beneficial for us. So if we go on to the below ground level, you can see that this is the pickups location. We have the ramps right here that are going above ground, and this is where the pickup bus is going to be going because of the fact that there is 2 buses that come through on every service. You'll have one bus that will go into the pickups location, and then one bus that will go into the drop-offs location. That is good management on the actual editor's part. Then we have this area. So this right here is supposed to be security. I think that there is going to be some things that I'm going to want to do with this. I'll get into that here in just a moment. Then, of course, we're going to want ticketing up here on this side. Most likely, I'll have it be along this wall. We're most likely going to have a reception area over here for the office area that I'm going to end up building in this area. Because this just screams to me as being an office sort of structure. Most likely, what I'll get next is let's just see here. Maybe a finance officer and an operations officer. Maybe technologies. However, I haven't really decided yet. It does look like the scenario editor did go with a simple 5x5 setup for the actual offices. So that actually does give us plenty of room to play with. Now, I haven't looked at the 3rd floor yet, or the above floor. Ooh, okay. Definitely a lot less space than what I thought. So pretty much we only have enough space for 2 things. We have space to go ahead and put down seating and space to put down our actual aircraft gate with queue. So I think that's what we should get started with first. I think getting the aircraft gate is going to be the most essential portion. So let's go ahead and do that. Aircraft gate control, or gate desk, sorry, the gate agent desk. So typically when I use the large aircraft gates, I like to have 2 gate agent desks, one on either side of the door. However, I think inside of this, I don't want to do that, at least not initially. The reason for that is, frankly, for the matter that one, we don't have a lot of space. This space right here is, I believe, 8 units in total. Let me actually go into the zoning tab here. 8 units, yes. So that's 8 units of space. That's not a lot. We can always expand out this way in the future, but expansion like this is going to be costly because we have to build the ground floor first, and then we build the second layer, or then the top floor. Now, something that's interesting about the way that this is set up is that we have it set that when passengers are getting off, they're going to take this escalator down first. This escalator is then going to go to another set of escalators with a little bit of a landing area over here that's completely closed off, so no one can get access to this from the departures area. Then they're going to come into this below ground level. My initial assumption is that this below ground level is going to be most likely baggage claim, or baggage claim will be over here right next to the pickups, which I think that might be better. Now I'm thinking about it, I think that actually might be better. Mostly because this area kind of screams to me as being like a sort of preemptive way of us to go and say, hey, you want to grab something before you leave the airport? Type mentality or something like that. But this is going to be a very awkward space to mess with. I'm not too sure what I'm going to build here, but I think we'll get into that down the line. So let's go back up to the top floor here. So I think we're going to want to get the queue sorted out first. I am thinking that normally I have two different types of queues. I have one queue that's set for first class, and then one queue that is set for standard travel or coach, whatever it's called. I don't think we're going to have to play it like that because I think that the gates aren't going to be busy enough to go to be warranting that. Now, I am going to have it in this weird setup right here. You can kind of see that I have that weird 2-gap indent. That is on purpose. The reason I want to do that is because if I go into the operations panel here, that's going to give me enough space for a flight info display, which surprisingly, there's actually one in stock, so that is free for us essentially. And then I want to have a garbage bin right here. We already have 2 of those in stock, so that's going to cater to one of those. So that's good right there. Over here, I think, just as like a little sort of like catcha or gotcha moment, I think we should have like a retail stand. Now, what type of retail stand? That is a good question to ask. Or the snack kiosk. I think we're gonna do the coffee kiosk because it's actually the cheapest one. So yeah, even though I did already buy it initially. So I'm going to put that there. I'm also going to go ahead and dismantle the flooring. Oh, I can't dismantle flooring. We are going to go ahead and build a wall right there. Mostly just to go and encapsulate this area, to kind of like to give the illusion of this being separated from each other. I'm going to also go on 2x speed here just to get construction going a bit quicker. Also, it's now 8 p.m. I think that we'll be able to have the airport fully functional by the time midnight comes. So I think it's a good idea to go ahead and get some flights scheduled for our aircraft gate. So our aircraft gate can accommodate large airplanes. So let's see here. What airline can we go ahead and get some aircrafts from? Not too many. We only got 5 airlines that are currently supplying us with large aircrafts. That's not bad, but at the same time, I would like to see more. Now, I play SimAirport also a little bit differently in this sense. I like the idea of utilizing 1 to 3 different types of airlines. If I can help it, I would have it be one type of airline that is offering us a good incentive. So with this, I think that the first one I want to go with is Aerostar, with it being the highest rating one of them all. Let's go with this one. It is saying that it is offering us a large aircraft for the afternoon. We can, I'll accept that. It'll go into our new flights tab here. The next one is Aero Time, which it's offering us 4 flights for the afternoon. I think I'm only going to accept one of those, which they're all B707s. That's Boeing 707s right there. 180 passengers max. Now you are a 767. A 767, if I recall. Oh, how much are you? That's 250 max. Okay, so I'm going to want to make sure I have more time for you. I'm going to have you start at 3. Or at least at 2:30 or 3:30. 3:30 I think would be good. Now, going back to Aero Time here. Because of the fact that these are all 180 max passengers, that's going to be tricky. Let's go with... see here. All these are going to have the same amount of max passengers. I think we're only going to go with 1 though. So let's go with 707, the first one. And we're going to have you start at noon and at 2:30. I like to have like an hour to hour and a half worth of a gap between our between flights. So we're not going to have massive airplanes being here for a long time. That's not my goal. Now the next one is either a Forward Air or Starflight. Which one of you are offering a morning flight? Forward Air is only a Forward Air. Okay, so we'll go and get one for a Forward Air. We'll have you end at 11:30. And we'll go over to WestJet because that's the only other one that's offering us a large aircraft during the morning. And we'll go and get you. So we have 4 different airlines that are here all throughout the day. Not a lot, but to be fair, they're all utilizing 1 gate. I'm not too worried about that, but we'll leave that alone for now. We're also going to want to get a bit of a wall piece there, and I'm going to go ahead and get rid of the planning here since I'm already done with that. There's that. Let's go back into ops here and just do this. Let's go ahead and build up these bathrooms. I'm building up these bathrooms a little bit differently as well. Actually, hold up. Yeah, it's not going to be too much different, actually. So let's do you and you. Let's go ahead and do you there. And you there. And you as well. No, don't use you. Do 2 sinks. 2 sinks? Yeah, 2 sinks is fine. We're not expected to have lots of passengers using this one, because this is only one set of 2 bathrooms that I think would be fine. This is intended for people that are coming into the airport and leaving through it, not people that are arriving into the airport via a plane and leaving via a bus. That's perfectly fine. Now this area up here is going to be my ticketing area. Staff is what I'm mostly concerned about. So since we are getting a large number of passengers and aircrafts, since all of our flights, if I take a look here, 74, 124, 81, and 121. That's a good number of flights, or a good number of passengers coming through the airport at once. So I think we're going to go into the operations, or the commercial pricing. I'm going to bring up the terminal usage to about 35 and the runway usage to about 800. That will go in and decrease airline satisfaction rating because they don't like higher prices. But at the same time, it's for us to go to get more money out of them. So they're stuck with it either way. So there is that. So I think that we should be a-okay. They're going to finish building up this segment. I'm going to have this be... Oh, I can't change this. That's right. With these conveyor transitions, you can't change the output source. Oh, and we already have people here. What? Okay, hold up. Also, why do I have security staff here during closed hours? Ah, because I didn't change it. Doy. I'll go ahead and leave it be. That's fine. Oh, I need to also go and assign these to the actual queues. You need to be just for flight first class and that, and you for that. And same for that. Okay. People are then going to go ahead and use the queues instead of just walking up. So there's that. And we should be good. Our first passengers are already here. Some of them are waiting on the actual ticket agents to get here, which is perfectly fine. The ticket agents are actually coming in on this bus, or on one of these two buses. Capacity. Seats remaining. Okay, so this one is currently the one that's going to the drop-offs. Let's see. Yep, that one is the one going to drop-offs. And that will drop off our staff as well. And there we go. People are going to go and steadily go through. Also, something I didn't check. Did I go ahead and update the staff overlay for you? No, I did not. Okay, so closed hours, you are not going to be there. You will be there during the hours, but not during the closed hours. Now, our first flight is currently en route. That's good. It is going to be coming in on this runway, which surprisingly enough, this runway is actually pretty short for what is essentially called an international airport. It's actually pretty short, 150 tiles or 150 meters. That's just about a football field size runway. Maybe 2.5 football fields. And when I mean football, I mean American football, not European. People are then going to go down to the baggage claim area, which is perfectly fine. And they're going to go into the pickups lounge. Okay. Then they're just going to drop off their baggage here, which is perfectly fine. And I think that is going to do us for the first video. So, if you guys did like this video, then please do go and consider leaving a like. And if you want to see more videos than like this and you aren't already subscribed, then please do go and subscribe for future content. Helps me out a ton and lets me know you guys want to see more of these videos. Anyway, I'll check you guys in the next video where we comes back to Green Peaks International. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Have a good one. And ciao for now.